Welcome back, folks. Again, I'm Roger Ramsey, the Executive Chef Instructor at the Early College and Career Center, part of Hardin County Schools. Today we're going to cook outside. Well, I'm not going to, but the recipes we're doing is stuff that you can do outside. It's just too hot to cook in the house. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with a chicken. We're going to marinate it in some olive oil and lemon, a little garlic, and he's going to go on the grill. Along with that, we're going to have some braised turnip greens. If you're not familiar with the turnip, it's a taproot, kind of like a radish and rutabaga or a carrot. It's not like a potato. It's a little earthy, a little sharp, a little spicy. I love them, my wife don't. But if you've never had one, it's worth trying. We're going to do some turnip greens with some diced turnip mixed into it. We're going to do some corn on the cob. We're going to put a little twist on that. Instead of pulling it out of straight water and putting butter all over and getting it all up on your arms and hands and face, we're just going to cook in some mostly water, but we're adding some milk, some butter, and some salt to that water. It's going to come out the water already buttered. How about that? And then we're also going to do a caprese salad. Caprese salad is fresh tomato, fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, and then we're going to add a little drizzle of a balsamic syrup to it. So first, let's address our chicken. Hello, chicken. Be particular about your products. The last one of these I got, and I bought two of them at the same time, poor little fella looked like he'd been beat to death instead of butchered. I probably would not be buying this brand again. The skin was torn. It made for an ugly bird. This one's not quite as bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to grill them. Okay. To do that, we need to find a method. Some means a shortcut in the amount of time that it's going to take to cook them. It's easy enough. What we need to do is called butterflying or spatchcocking. So this is his chest, his breast. So that is the underside of the bird. Turn him over so he's right side up. Right down the center is his backbone. There's the Pope's nose. That's the part that goes over the fence last. Get you a pair of kitchen shears, a good sharp chef's knife. Start at the Pope's nose and cut the backbone out. Whoops, there we go. Now, if you're doing a bunch of chickens at once, which we have a tendency to do here in the class, we might hold on to that and make chicken stock. If you're not, it goes in the garbage. We got some loose pieces of entrail. Again, not the best packaged bird I've ever seen. Get that out the way. Right down the center of his breast is what's called the keel bone. So it'd be a sternum for us, I assume. What we need to do, there's a couple different things we can do. Number one, just flip them over, push down on it, and break that keel bone now and lay down flat. That's a good thing. But if we turn it back over where we broke that keel bone, take our shears, find where it's connected to his shoulders, then we can just lever that keel bone out. And what that will do is remove that barrier for the heat that's getting into the bird. It's going to cook a little bit faster. Rib bone. Run your fingers down along. It's bone on top and cartilage on the bottom. And mostly what we're worried about is just getting that bone part out of the way. Lever. Lever. And so now we've got that keel bone out of the way. It's a barrier to heat. Our bird's going to cook a little bit faster, and it's going to season a little better on the inside. So let's talk about our seasoning. We decided we were going to do a lemon chicken. So by proxy, we need some lemon. They look like this. The outside part of the lemon is called the zest, the yellow part. Underneath that is white, it's called pith. The zest is wonderful, full of essential acids, oils and such. The pith is terrible. It's pitiful. So we need to get the yellow part off that lemon without getting the white part. Easiest way to do that, this device called a microplane. If you don't have one, use a grater box. But the important part is get yellow, don't get white. It's just a matter of sliding that zest down the microplane and into your work boat. Now, that lemon has something else we can use. It's called juice. So let's just whack them in half. See that the way. Now, if you have great big pork chop hands like I do, you can squeeze a lemon so that the cut side's up. It'll hold on to its own seeds. You don't need to strain it. If you don't, suggestion, get you a pair of tongs. I think we talked about this before. Squeeze the lemon in the tongs to get your juice out. So, now, we've got a marinade here that's nothing more than a little garlic, minced garlic, our lemon zest from a couple of lemons, and some olive oil. There's going to be a recipe attached to this show that's going to say put salt and pepper in there. I'm going to say don't do it yet. Because here's what happens. You put your salt and pepper into the marinade and it's going to fall to the bottom. The top's going to be nice and luscious and the bottom's going to be incredibly salty. So don't put it in yet. We're going to marinate the chicken, then we're going to salt it, pepper it, then we're going to put it on the grill. So let's start with the underside. Just a little bit of marinade goes a long way. Then turn them over. Now, we've got a bit of a dilemma. This chicken skin is a wonderful product. It's real good at keeping what's on the inside in and what's on the outside out. That includes our flavorings and seasonings. So what we're going to do, take our big fat fingers or your little fat fingers, whichever you've got, and loosen that skin up on the meat. Now, we pour a little bit of our marinade inside. That's going to do two things. It's going to allow the marinade to actually get to the meat instead of just the skin. It's also going to help the skin crisp up because it's not in contact with the meat constantly. So if you like the crispy skin on the chicken, this is how you do it. This is how we do it. Da, 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 da. Pretty good shot. Okay. Now, rub that marinade around so that's lubricating the meat under the skin. You can tuck those wings if you want. Leave them alone if you don't want. Now, what are we missing? Salt and pepper. When you season what I've always heard referred to as from a height, you tend to get a better coverage than if you're right down here on top of it, so season from a height. Try to keep your workstation clean. I've got a cutting board set inside of a sheet pan to catch purge and dust, and well, I kind of tend to make a mess. Kind of shortens my cleanup time. So we've got our chicken. He's ready to go on the grill. So folks, this is my grill. It's probably a little different to what you have, but not a whole bunch. It's got a heat source, metal grates. It's a grill. Okay, for our chicken, we want to cook over indirect heat. And that is to say, we don't want the fire directly under the chicken. Around it, on each side of it, whatever, but not directly under it, it's going to burn. We've got olive oil on the skin, so we're not going to worry with necessarily oiling the grates. We've already oiled the burn. So with your grates preheated, take him and lay him down, skin side down. Now there's a trick to grilling. It is called 10 and 2. If you want the nice pretty grill marks on your grill food, You lay your food down so that first time it's pointing towards 10 o'clock. If you're looking at the watch, you get the grill marks, then you turn it so it's pointing towards what will be 2 o'clock if you're looking at your watch. That way you get those nice hash marks. It's those marks that make people say, ooh, it's grilled. So, that's the 10 o'clock. That's the 2 o'clock. Set this out the way. That's hot. So, at this point, at the house, you would want to close the grill, your grill cover, your lid, put a lid on it. I don't have a lid, but I do happen to have a hotel pan. So what I'm gonna take this hotel pan, as soon as I turn this guy over, because all I want on the skin side is the grill marks. See what it looks like. Hey, how about that? Now I'm gonna take this hotel pan, I'm gonna lay it over top of it, turn my heat down. I'll let him ride on the grill for probably an hour, hour and a half or so. More importantly than the time is the temperature. You have to cook him so that the thickest part is 165 degrees. We don't have time for no salmonella around here. So, there he is. Now, you might have noticed there's a pot sitting on my grill. These are our turnips. And again, turnips, it's a taproot. They're earthy and spicy. I really like them, but you can also eat the greens that are attached to the plant. And these are the greens and the root combined. It's just cooked in a little bit of water, ham hock, a little onion and garlic, and salt and pepper. Easy peasy. These we started earlier because they take a long time to cook down. They take a long time. I'm going to let y'all visit with Mr. Bobby real quick. He's going to put together the salad for us. We'll come back, get our corn going. Before you know it, we're going to eat. Okay.
I'm Bobby Thompson. I'm a co-teacher here at the Early College and Career Center. Today I'm going to make a caprese salad for us. It's a very simple salad, just 4 ingredients, and we'll get to it and lay it out, and makes a really good appetizer type salad. First thing we're going to do, we have basil leaves, and we're going to do what's called chiffonade, which just means it's a leafy vegetable that's been rolled up and then cut into ribbons. So we'll take it and we will roll it together as tightly as we can. Then we will use our knife and we will simply go through and cut. Each cut is about 1/4 of an inch. And now just the assembly part of this. It's very simple. Tomato, piece of fresh mozzarella, tomato, and we just continue to do that back and forth as we go across. What we will do when we get close to the end, we're going to take our chopped up basil, just going to simply sprinkle it across the tomato and mozzarella. Then we're going to do some balsamic vinegar down the center, and we finish it off with some salt and pepper. And then we've got a couple of leaves that we'll lay just on top of it as a garnish. And that is a caprese salad.
Folks, we've got to get our corn on. It's going to take 7-8 minutes to cook. And again, like I said, we're not putting in plain old salt and water this time. We've got mostly water. We've got milk in there and butter. And ideally, I've never done this, we'll see how it works out. It should come out as buttered corn. Mr. Bobby went to the trouble of shucking us up some corn and left one for me. I saw this little trick on the internet one time. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it says if you cut the bottom end of your corn off and grab it by the top and work the shucks out, I don't think it's gonna work. You can't believe everything you see on the internet. Give me just a minute to get rid of this. Hi again, lesson learned. So we've got 4 ears of corn cut in half. That's enough for 4 folks, I'd say. Our water, our milk, and our butters to a boil. Just going to drop our corn, not necessarily like it's hot. And we're going to leave them in that cooking solution again for about 6 or 7 minutes. So while that's happening, I'm going to get the chicken we made earlier out. We're going to break it down. We'll start plating as soon as the corn done. Give me just a minute, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. I knew that chicken wouldn't be done in time for these nice ladies that are producing this television program. So we went and made one yesterday, reheated this morning. Same thing, exactly the same process, just got cooked a little earlier. So we need to serve them now. This has been cooking for, let's see, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. It's particularly tender. You can see parts are going to come apart. So let's just, I hate cutting in a stainless steel pan, but we're going to. Right down where the keel bone had been, separate the breast and the thigh. When we cut that backbone out, we took the hip bones out. So the thigh's not attached to anything. Now all you're going to do is cut through the skin. Separate the thigh and the drumstick and lay them back the way it came apart as best you can. Same deal on the other side. Breast to breast. That's good. There we go. Now, while nobody was looking, Mr. Bobby made us a relish. It's called gremolata. And it's basically parsley, a little garlic, a little lemon zest, touch of olive oil, and a little lemon juice, salt and pepper. It's a wonderful accompaniment for any type of grilled food, particularly chicken. So let's put a little of our, my kids call it gremlin sauce, which would be comical except they're all adults. So let's put a little of our gremolata on our bird. Grilled a couple of onions to go with. We've got our turnip greens and turnips cooked together. And we've got our pre-buttered corn on the cob. How about that? And the only thing we had to cook inside the turnip greens, we did on the grill or the pot. The corn, we cooked on the stove top. So you may have to take it inside, but it's only boiling water, milk, and butter for a few minutes. I think that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, I forget. All that work that Mr. Bobby did for me, and I forgot about the salad he made for us. So there you are. That's our outdoor dinner. I hope you enjoy it. Come back, visit next time. We'll see what we're going to make then. Y'all take care.